And we're live on both channels. Yay! Hello, music warriors. Hope you're having an amazing Sunday. We are live as always every Sunday with new epic music by various artists, including my own, and covers of your favorite songs too. So today we're going to come back to one of my favorite covers that I've had the pleasure of recording for my friend. This is Hambolega by Gulab Janams. And the reason I'm going back to it today and this week is because Sarmad, my friend, is actually going to be on our show this coming Tuesday. So he is back with an amazing story. So he's produced more music, but also he has a story to share about his recent experiences ever since we talked. And funny enough, he got COVID-19, but he recovered. So he's going to tell us his story about that and the journey of recovery and how there's so many connections to be made about this whole sort of serendipity around the pandemic and how the songs that he wrote came to be as well. So as you know, Hambolega was written in 2018, and that was a year before the quarantine began, but it actually addresses the same issues we're going through today. So I hope you enjoy it. Here is my take on it. Here we go. that was Hambolega by Gulab Janams. My friend Sarmad is the band leader, creator of this project. So check them out. Check out my cover on YouTube where I play on my balcony with an awesome wind in my hair and apocalyptic shoot that was then edited by my sister Lena Burmenko from graciasproductions.com, who's an amazing filmmaker and editor. So if you guys ever need any help with putting together like videos and promos and things like that, she is the best person to go to. Thank you. Hey Cornelius. Hi Fred. Hi John. Thank you so much, John. So, meanwhile, we still have time. I did start late today. I'm sorry about that, guys. So, sometimes, sorry about that. So, sometimes, and the past 2 weeks, I have been feeling a little off. So, like, I've been staying up late, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just staying up late. And sometimes I just watch videos on TikTok. Sometimes I play my fishdom game on my phone. But I think the reason for that is way deeper than that. I feel like throughout this pandemic, we've all done a lot of work and restructuring and rethinking our lifestyles. And I want to minimize all of the distractions in my life. I want to minimize all the unnecessary things that I know I do to maintaining just for the sake of others. So if it's not something that is actually directly inspiring me straight in exactly with my own ideas too, I have to cut out those projects out of my life. So that's what I want to do most of all right now is to minimize the work I do, but maximize the effectiveness and the efficiency of my work that I do. So yeah, that way I will feel like I'm getting somewhere and I'm getting closer to my goals and I'm getting there closer to fulfilling my own projects, which, by the way, are coming together. So Jacob and I are being very careful with the quarantine and COVID-19, but we are actually starting to film more videos for you guys. So very soon we will be driving out to a remote location and filming a very special project for you for my Kolomika song, my Ukrainian heritage song that will feature both the beautiful folklore of my culture and mysticism behind the traditions that we practiced for centuries. So if you look back in history, it's a very interesting topic to see that actually Kiev, where I'm from, my city, and all of the Kiev roots came from that. So Kiev was founded by Slavs and Scandinavian Vikings working together. So I'm absolutely sure I have blood from both both sides there. So which means that my people at the very initial stages were pagan. Slavs were pagan. We worship the sun. We worship the earth. Shamanistic too. I definitely have shamanistic influence in my culture because things we do are there to basically like please the nature or to thank the nature for its beautiful gifts and fertile soil. One of the most famous things about my land, where I come from, is the fertile soil, a chernozem. I don't know how to say it in English, but it's like this black soil. That's technically what we call it. So it's very fertile. It has a lot of elements that basically people from different cultures always try to sort of like, bring it home with them and study it and, take over the territory to grow, their food. So I'm very proud to be coming from a land that has fertile soil and many natural resources, access to the ocean, to the Black Sea, Azov Sea, and with it also to the resources in the ocean that are available to us, and we're also grateful for it. So we have developed various rituals and practices that show that gratefulness to our nature, our planet, our mother creation. So for everything we get on daily basis. And I've actually, when I was back home with my grandma, we would stay all summer in my grandma's place where we would have our own garden. We would make apple juice. We would literally go apple picking, and we had a giant orchard of apples. Giant. They were tall. I was small too, so maybe they seemed a little bigger to me back then. But they were giant trees. They were old trees that were very fertile every single season. And my grandma had the most delicious strawberries. She had a very special kind that she would go and, treat people with it. I'm excited to hear her play again. Thank you, David. Thank you. I'll play in just a second as soon as I'm done with my mumbling. So, yeah, my grandma had a giant garden of not just the apples and berries and raspberries, and we'd go blueberry picking, mushroom picking. We also grew our own potatoes, tomatoes, cucumbers, anything, you name it. We grew it, parsley, dill, like everything. All the spices we had homemade. So I'm really like, I'm loving that because I knew where food came from, and I was culturally educated about food and treating it with respect and what it means to people, what it means. It's not just nutrition, it's comfort, it's love, it's family. Food in our culture is a big deal because it is comfort. It's basically like one of the core elements, together with songs and music and entertainment that we practiced in my culture. So all of those things are to create comfort, give your community a beautiful way of connecting. So let's do that. Speaking of which, here is Kolomika. So I'll cover it for you guys so that next you know what's coming. Listen right now. Just try to, in the middle section, try to close your eyes. When you hear the Jew harp coming, boom, 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 when you hear that, try to close your eyes and imagine a group of Ukrainian ladies dancing around the fire. I dare you to. Here we go. that is Kolomika. And yep, I haven't shaved in a while. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create video that will show you some of the most beautiful elements and what I would say would be like the fun activity, but also seriously spiritually connecting activity. So usually in my culture, what happens is in a celebration of a harvest, celebration of seasonal change, celebration of a young woman becoming a woman, right? So it's kind of like quinceañera sort of thing. What we would do is the young people would gather around the fire and they would dance and sing songs and then they would hop over it. Can like, if you've ever seen any Kazakh dance moves, sort of like that. They would just jump over and, have fun and see if they can make it. I know it sounds dangerous, but I mean, people actually knew how to do that. So it's not just spontaneously like, with fatalities that, no, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But for most people, this kind of act of jumping over fire represents going over a certain rite of passage in their lives. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, David. Hey, Ray. Hey, David. Hi, Harry. Hey, John. Hey, Fred. Hey, Cornelius. Thank you, everybody, for watching. So I hope I did not scare people off just logging in a bit late. But honestly, in the past 2 weeks, you guys, I've been feeling kind of all over the place. So I don't know if I can always log in on time. But that's okay. Actually, one of the best things to do is to go to my YouTube and click the bell. There's a bell icon. So if you're subscribed, that's great. But if you want to get notified by email when we're live, please ring the bell, right? So I'm seeing some cool comments on YouTube too. Thank you, guys. So ring the bell. And then you will get an email reminding you that we are live. And you can watch it where you like. You can watch it on my Facebook, which is my biggest tribe. Hey, guys. And you can watch it on YouTube as well, which is fine. Either way, I will still see your comments and I'll still say hi to you. So I actually have both screens displayed here. So my laptop covers YouTube. My phone covers the Facebook because, I do need 2 screens to be able to do this. And that's what I have so far. Meanwhile, speaking of screens, Jacob and I are preparing something really amazing for you guys. So if you like my music so far, if you've liked my videos so far, this is going to be something way cooler. We are doing a live concert series. Yay! So because of the virus, we could not do the live concerts this year. And I'm glad we haven't started them because then we would be left with, nothing if we just like invested into all the concert halls that we wanted to do. So I'm glad we haven't started that this past year because it would get affected by COVID. So now that we are in this space, when we're being careful, we're being smart, we're being efficient, we are launching a very special type of experience for you guys. It's going to be a live online concert series. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So imagine all this, except I'm not just going to be like this. I'm going to be filmed on a high definition professional camera. I'm going to be captured live, but on one of Jacob's pieces that he has a whole studio set up for this. So we have a backdrop of green screen where we will play my videos or the landscape of the scenarios that we have captured for this concert. And we will play with my songs. There will be a choreography, there'll be a whole story, there'll be a whole evening planned of entertainment. So I'm thinking to make this concert anywhere between half an hour to an hour long, just because I know some of us are busy, but there will be a lot of them. So, and you will be able to buy a pass for the whole season or just like one individual concert, right? So there'll be plenty of options available for all of you guys. So I can't wait. It's going to be so cool. Imagine this. I'm live, but instead of just seeing my studio behind me, and first of all, you can see my full height. You will be able to see my whole self. So with my legs, with my moves, with everything, because it's a full room just of green screen. This is so cool. And Jacob's been so helpful and amazing at everything. So thank you all who've been following so far. Meanwhile, you can support us and you can help us make more music. You can help us make more videos. Yes, we are still producing videos. We're actually starting to work on Kolomika very soon. And I can't wait. We're being safe. We're being careful. We're only working with people that we know very well, that they're also being safe and careful as well. And yes, there will be dancers in this video, which I can't wait. So what I'd like to say first is that you can support us. If you'd like to contribute to any of my creations, to videos, to music productions, any of the live concert series, to help us create them without stress. It's always stressful, but yeah, anything helps. All little help and little feedback from you always helps. So please check us out on Patreon, on patreon.com/Vera Burmenko. And if you are a Patreon during this time of our concert series, you will be getting all of the behind scenes footage that no one else does. I will be sharing some of it here, but I won't be able to do the whole thing because it will require a lot of my focus. But for the Patreons, I will be sharing everything we do. I will actually be writing to you guys to help us with testing the performance. So if you want to be one of those people, please join my Patreon. Any level tier, starting with $3 a month, you will be eligible for the behind scenes. All right. Well, enough talking, I guess, right? Let's close with something really cool. So, the next song I'm going to play for you has been inspired by my Mongolian sort of interest in Mongolian culture, Mongolian music. I myself am very close to it. I love throat singing. I just love everything about it. I love the band Who, and they're so awesome. They received the Genghis Khan Award for bringing attention to Mongolian culture through their music. So that's pretty cool. And I totally love their wolf totem. This is the kind of music I've always wanted to make. So I'm going to play for you next my horseman. Yay! So that was Horseman from my Iron Fiddle saga. If you guys bought my album, thank you so much, all of you who purchased it, especially during COVID, during this, interesting time. I didn't expect to make some sales, but we did. So thank you guys so much. All of your support counts. All of your support really helps. So the more of it we get, obviously, the better music we'll be able to produce, the faster we'll be able to produce the next video for everybody. So I'm still out of breath. So Horseman was inspired originally, just like all of my albums, originally inspired by George Martin's writings in the Song of Ice and Fire series, right? So first book is the one that inspired me most. But this is also inspired by the Dothraki. So Horsemen to me are sort of like this Mongolian, Kazakhstan, that kind of, especially Mongolian culture, because, horses are pretty big deal in Mongolia. So everyone knows how to ride a horse, right? And I love horses too. But more importantly is that with this, I want to show the spirit of freedom and share with you the love for the nature and nature's sounds, right? So there's this amazing artist. I mentioned her last week. You have to check her out. She's a kamus player, a Jew harp player, Yuliana Krivoshapkina. She's actually from Kazakhstan, and she travels all around that part of the world. And she's been to the US too. She's amazing. She plays with metal bands, rock bands, but her own stuff is nature sounds, like bird sounds, different sounds of nature that you would just it's amazing, right? The way she does it and the way it works with the metal tracks of the artist that she works with, it's just so fantastic. And she also teaches workshops worldwide too. So I'm totally in love with it. I love it so much. So these things and some others too inspired my next album, which will be titled Obsidian. And as you can tell from the title, it will be a little darker than what I've produced so far. So if you've purchased my songs, thank you so much. You can get them on veraburmenko.com/shop. Just go to my website, veraburmenko.com. You will find my shop. And there, the first thing is my album, because it's the most precious thing to me that I'm selling, because we've already invested so much love and care into it, and every CD is signed. Here it is. So if you got this, it's signed, it's personally signed with my signature, Jacob's signature, and it has this beautiful picture that, by the way, has been edited so many times just to make it work with the color scheme. Everything you do will be work. But before I sign off, just wanted to remind you guys that everything is work. Yes, everything needs your effort. Everything needs your thought and care and input. But it's very, very important to prioritize too. So you cannot be spreading yourself thin, which is what I find to be doing. I love interviewing people. I love doing my podcast. So stay tuned on Tuesday for Sarmad. He's back with an epic story of his recovery from COVID-19 and what kind of music he wrote in the process. So that's going to be very interesting. But I also want to prioritize between things that matter to me personally and things that are more important to my path and the people who walk that path with me. So I'm going to be more selective with projects from now on, especially now that I'm working on Kolomika video, because I want to bring the best of what I can do to you guys. And don't forget to book some days off. I'll tell you what I did yesterday. I was like, okay, I'll do some practicing. I'll do some exercise. And guess what? After my interview with Mark the Ghostman, the horror writer, I have not done any of that. I basically spent a whole day just eating and playing a game. And that's okay. It does not make me a failure. It does not make me a loser. It does not make me lazy. It just means that you need to book yourself a day off. And your brain is telling you that. When you find doing activities that are usually normal to you and easy and just routines, okay, great, I'll get that done and I'll go on and do something else. But if you find it way too difficult to do them, that is your body telling you that you need a break. So make sure you book yourself one day a week where you do not obsess over things. I wanted it to be today, but I guess I did that yesterday. So today I'm actually going to go full on and do some exercise. So that's one thing. Oh, and by the way, speaking of the Ghostman, so Mark Rains is a horror writer, storyteller, an amazing person, very kind. He was so sweet on my show, on his show, interviewing me, and he sent me some of his stories to read too. They're very creepy. They're very horror. So if you like that kind of genre, absolutely tune in. I will soon be sharing the link to our interview. It's a blog post where you can read and listen to everything we talked about. So it's amazing. Thank you, Mark, for having me again. And yeah, hopefully we'll do this again sometime. You can come to my show. We'll do an interview as well. But meanwhile, check out and stay tuned for the link I will be sharing very, very soon for that interview, okay? So there's a lot of kind of insight. Every time you do an interview with somebody, you discover something about yourself that you didn't know. Because I think that just shows it was a good interview because you get asked questions that make you actually think, and that's a very good thing. Because if you're doing just the standard, oh, here's my media set, and you didn't really learn anything new in the process, that's a question like, why are you doing an interview then, right? So I love doing that. I love discovering things about people and artists that I interview that they wouldn't share anywhere else, that they would only share with us because this is what we are all about, right? And what we're all about is making genuine human connection through our music and giving a little bit of career advice to all the other artists who are going through the same thing as you right now more than ever because of the lockdown. Hey, Monse. Thank you. You too. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay tuned for my next post. I will be sharing in my interview with Mark the Ghostman. So stay tuned. Have a great weekend. Bye. And whoop. Why can't I see what I'm doing here? Whoops. Okay, YouTube. Now bye.